Hello. Let's, as usual, my first words are, I hope it's working. I'll now check on my mini computer to see if it is. We missed last week, so I'm here early this week. Hello, Tony. Did we pop up in the right screen, do you know? Hello, Sean. Sean, it feels like I just saw you yesterday when I did a cry. A small cry. A small cry for the little cat. Meow. Hello, Philip Collins. I've moved the chat bar up marginally because I think there are... Hello, Caprice. Ahoy, ahoy. I've moved the chat up. Ooh, thank you, Neil. I feel like I'm killing my channel by doing the goals because no one is getting memberships anymore, and that's how I make my YouTube millions. But the goal thing's really fun, and I thought if we achieve our goal today, which is 10 super thanks, then we can do tarot card readings, which I don't know how will go down in a Warhammer channel, but I do know that the girl who decided not to be friends with me because I couldn't sort my anxiety out, she was like, you just got to sort your fucking anxiety out, dude. Absolutely hated that I enjoyed the tarot, as did a man that shouted at me once. So for me, that means the tarot is probably a good thing to pull out, a force of good and for binding evil spirits. I know I want the Tarot Heresy deck so bad, but it's probably about 8 million pounds. So thank you so much, Neil. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Do some hearts. I can't remember what the balloons is. I always forget balloons. Confetti. Fireworks. Could this be balloons? What is balloons? I don't know. I don't know what that is. Stop. In the name of love. Hello, Robbie. Welcome to the chat. A very warm welcome from myself and Mr. Pew Pew, Barney McGrew, Cuthbert, Dibble and Grub. We're both here this evening. We came on a little bit early. Tarot cards feel very 40k, and Curse of Strahd as well, if you ever played Dungeons and Dragons. Yes. I have my souvenir that my friend Ed painted of the Von Durst family from the Curse of Strahd. Any D&D heads? Hey, Darthus. Dartharus. Welcome. Willkommen. I just... hello, Robbie. Oh, thank you for a £5. God bless you, Robbie. I appreciate it. What would you like, Robbie? I don't know how to do balloons. Is balloons 2 thumbs up? No fireworks. What is balloons? Fireworks for Robbie. Thank you so much for the £5, Robbie. If we get 10 goal things, we're gonna do tarot cards. I was just reminiscing in my box. You know, sometimes Historicus Gimaldus sends me things. I've got these lovely minis and I never get them out. Look at this bad boy. Lovely stuff. Yeah, I've really been gifted a load of... I'm such a spoiled brat. Look at this. This is so fun. Isn't that so cool? So yeah, squigglies. Yes, but I have to tell you all, my neighbour Andy, who basically, I'm on the Residents Association because of course, and you know, variously we help each other out. Like, you know, he has helped me a lot with doing loads of DIY stuff, and he was laughing. He wasn't laughing, but he was commenting on the fact that my TV is so old, it's not smart TV. And he's thrown away a TV and he's like, oh, you can have my old TV. It's really old, but Netflix and everything, like Prime, is on the telly. You don't have to plug something in. And then So when I turn the telly on, I can go straight to Netflix. It's incredible. I was given a telly by a neighbour, so I'm just trying to think how to say thanks. So unfortunately, he's not a Warhammer fan, but I will probably drop him a bottle of, I don't know, a bottle of non-alcoholic punch or something. Black and white, says Tony. Oh my gosh, should we bring that back? Should we bring back 4K 3D black and white? Mr. Pugh Fire Safety Tarot. Fireworks is just fine for Robbie. I'm so pleased. 78 card pickup is a fun game. Getting frogs on Wednesday. What colour frogs, Robbie? How big? What type? Please say they're not poisonous. No poisonous frogs. How has everybody's week been? I have had 4 out of 10 week. Hello, Major General. I am the very model of a model major general. Ba-ba-bum. What's that song? Oh, that's going to bug me now. Lyrics in the chat, anyone who knows Gilbert and Sullivan. For those of you watching in black and white, the green ball is in the top left. Do they have a green ball in snooker? They don't. Is that the joke? Lol. Pirates of Penzance. Do you know what? Gilbert and Sullivan walked so Lin-Manuel could run. Yay, that's going to be a new t-shirt. Welcome to the channel, everybody. I hope everyone's had a good week. For those who don't know, I had a colonoscopy yesterday and went as well as it could have done. Yes, way less to worry about than the last time it was done 3 years ago. Phew. No concern from any of the operatives in the ward, so that's good. I only know that rhyme from Mass Effect 2. What the hell kind of game is that? Is that a Hideo game? I don't know. Let's not pretend Mira knows about gaming. Anyway, I've raised the chat because I'm trying to, there's now a little watermark of me in the bottom of chats and stuff. So I don't know. Anyhow, shall we do a candle? I decided to go blue. For what reason did I decide to go blue? I think I'm just feeling blue. Oh, where are my matches? Well, yay. Ugh. I'll take you with me. Let's see if we can find... Let's see if we can't find some matches, everybody. Oops. Imagine if I fell over and died now and that was the live stream. That's kind of the level of my mood today. I'm just in the old matches drawer, which as you can imagine is a right state. Hello, Jamaldus. I just showed you, I just showed one of the minis you gave me. What am I going to do if I've got no matches? What do we do when we've got no matches, etc.? How queer. Maybe in this cupboard. No. I'm just showing off some of my Mario kitchen cupboard art. Da-na-na-na-na-na. Light it on the stove. The stove is at one of those ridiculous hobs with no flame. Wizard fire. Hot to the touch, but burns no flame. Crikey. Ah. And they were at home all along. Light it with a toaster. Crikey, that way electrocution lies. Thank God Will's in the chat, because I have not looked up a fact of the day. So we should probably do our candle. To the drawer of many things. I have been reading about ultramarines, and I think the Raven Legion maybe is in that book too. That's definitely salamanders, because their eyes glow red, which is freaking awesome. Let's do a candle. Let's do a candle. We've got Mr. Hugh here. Would not then be a live stream, really. She dead. No, look, I've got the little sign. Ain't dead. And this is my Miramanga picture done by amazing artist called Kate Cottle. I'll link to her in the chat. So we'll have a blue candle because of the ultramarines that turn up in the latest Horus book. Ooh, ooh. I got no facts ready. It's been a terrible week. Me too, Will. Do you think something's in the air? Spiritually, I'm a Pisces. Maybe a bad week for Pisces? I don't know. I know people who hate me for even suggesting stuff. This is a lovely blue flame. Whenever I put one on, I want to put another one on because I'm a fire starter. It's so weird. I'm so terrified of flame. Like, one of my biggest fears is like my house burning with me in it. And yet, tempted by the fire. Oh, this one's going to be pink, but maybe it's just dated. Do you remember when we learned that that two different colour flames don't mix like pigment because it's a completely different kind of energy thing? I love that day. Anyway. Okay, the fire section is over. Maybe I should play salamanders. Tom Hiddleston for a celebrity birthday. Yay! Loki himself. What's the criteria for facts of the day? They have to be accurate, and actually it'd be good to have a frog fact today in honour of Robbie getting red or orange frogs with black spots and white bellies called Ufega bastimentos. Cemetery. Christ on a bike, Robbie. Wowie zowie. So yeah, we'll have frog facts today. And I'm really sorry you've had a terrible week, Will. Me also. But most of that's just my brain, I think, and overwork. Can I just say a big reason a lot of my YouTube stuff is slowing down is because A, mental health, B, I have to do a lot of life admin for my mum as well as me, and I'm having to wait for outside agencies, and it's stressing me out, which is really scaring me and putting me more into my mental health. And Trench Crusade, which is a behemoth. It's so dense with lore and history. It's like they've world built this complete, I mean, they've world built, if you were world building something the size of Warhammer already, and then your job was like editing and working with that. So I guess my feeling of this week is being consumed mostly by fear, anxiety, and work, and also illness. I've had 2 internal surgical procedures this week. I don't really like it when people rummage about. It's a bit like the game Operation. It's not natural. Philip says the wood frog can live north of the Arctic Circle, surviving for weeks with 65% of its body frozen. Wow. Crazy. They are called Ufega Bastimento Cemetery because that specific morph was found in the cemetery. I would name it after myself. That's so nice of them to name it after the place. Tony, that frog name sounds like a Chaos War leader. Philip says the frog uses glucose in its blood as a kind of antifreeze that concentrates in its organs, protecting them from damage. Oh my gosh, I love that. And I love that Will also knew that. I learnt a fact today. You know Ozempic, which is a medicine for diabetics to help, I guess, reduce weight. I don't know how it works. They found that because there's a poisonous lizard called the gilly wizard or the gilla wizard. And the gilly lizard is venomous and it bites you and it stays chewing on you. And the more it chews on you, the more venom goes in. But the venom has an enzyme that switches off or does something to insulin uptake or something. I don't know. Anyway, wow, I did have a fact of the day and the frog facts helped draw it out from me. So really sorry you had a bad week, Will. Sergey, hello again. I think I saw Sergey when I was playing Stray. That frog is supposed to teach us how to freeze ourselves for interstellar space travel. Get me off this planet! The problem is, wherever you go, your anxiety travels. And then I just be in space with anxiety. Anxiety in space. And no one can hear you scream. So, let us all play why are we all here today, my loves? We are here to play our fighting fantasy quest. I can't even remember. Were we in the Hotel of Hideous Harassment and Hotkeys? No, we're not. We're in the Tower of Terror today. I'm just going to pop this open on my phone so I can still have congress with my friends while we're playing. It's so frustrating. I have to save to watch later, see the list, and go in from there. There we go. Go in from there. Voila, I see. Allora, mixing up my languages. Allons-y. Okay, let's get this going. The Temple of Terror. The adventure continues. Sergei says we haven't reached the frozen frog bits elements to get into space yet. I know, and it's a shame. Hello, everybody here. I think there are 20 of us here today. I know that you're mostly all web inspectors. Thank you so much for your returning visits and for your union memberships. Please, please. Oh my God, we just got balloons. The balloons is the double Vs. If you are here in the chat and you come every week, please don't forget to do a like, because I think that helps. And I'm trying to be a real girl YouTuber. Okay, so let's pick up the adventure. Your thrusting sword sinks deep into the eye of your deadly adversary, sending it crashing to the floor. Sickening yellow fluid oozes out of its eyes and corrodes the stone floor while emitting toxic vapors into the air. You hold your breath and run past the dying eye stinger. Running along the corridor, you see an iron grille high up in the right-hand wall. If you wish to prise it open with your sword, please type open into the chat. If you would rather walk on by, please type walk into the chat. Meanwhile, I will show you the apple turnover confection pastry that was made available to me in the Royal London Hospital, but I've subsequently felt too ill coming out of sedation to eat it, although I did manage to eat well today. So I'm going to try this. I don't know if it's because of my over vivid imagination, but I think it tastes a little bit like hospital. Okay, we have got a lot of openers. Sorry, I just read Robbie's comment. If I go quiet, Jasper is letting off some nuclear farts this evening. I might have passed out briefly. Oh, bless you. Bless you, Robbie. What have you been feeding Jasper? Darthurus, I had to nip off. Did anyone talk about frogs? Scroll up is all we can say. Hairy horror frogs, Batman, says Tony. Neil and Sergei and Phil and Don would like to walk, but everyone else wants to open the iron grill, so let us do so. As you reach up to prise the grill from the wall, you notice it has been tampered with. Oh no, why didn't we do a check for traps? 2 of the vertical bars and the joining horizontal bar have been highlighted with white chalk to form a distinctive letter H in the centre of the grill. The messenger of death has struck. Now, remember, everybody, part of this adventure is that someone somewhere spelled out a thing. So we should probably be remembering these letters. But we lose 4 stamina points and 1 luck point. But we still live. We live. And now would be a good time to check in on Tilly and Well and see how we're doing. We have 17 of 23 stamina, and we have full skill and score of 13 and a luck score of 9, which is not great because we should have 11 lucky. We have creature sleep, read symbols, create water and open door spells. And in our backpack, we have a crystal key, an iron helmet, a brass handbell, a sandworm tooth, a blown flute, a dragon artifact, a bone dragon, a headscarf, a golden key, leather armour, an ivory beetle chain, and a lantern. We have 7 provisions left and a sword. That was just for podcast listeners. 4 stamina, says Sean. Struth, I know, mate. Robbie says, I think Jasper's been eating things out of the garden. Who knows what? I really hope no frogs. You reach up into the recess behind the grill, but find that it is merely an air vent. Cursing your bad luck, you walk on by. Okay. This is interesting. Can everybody see on the right of the screen there is a Fighting Fantasy logo? I do believe that the app, Fighting Fantasy apps, had an update. And if so, they've popped this on here. And what a great idea for everybody streaming it. So if you're just surfing on by, you know what we're playing. Amazing. Tony says, I bet it spells out YMCA. Dartharus, we need the magic letter, right? I think we'd probably do, Dartharus. The corridor soon ends at a T-junction. If you would like to go left, please type left into the chat. If you'd like to go right, please turn right. While you do that, I'll say take my second bite and reassess what it tastes like. That was yummy. That was okay. I think the thing is there's a lot of pastry in, probably because it's like a day old. You know, the apple filling has soaked into the pastry. I'll tell you what, I don't think of it often, but my mum's favourite pastry was an apple turnover. I haven't had one of those for ages. Okay, wow. Pretty much everyone's saying left. Philip's saying go right. I've been watching a channel called Tone, which does mini documentaries on punk bands. You might like it, Mira. Dom, did you know I used to be good friends with Bad Religion, and me and my friend Jessica went to Hawaii while they were recording their album The Grey Race at Todd Rundgren's house, and it was really a fantastic experience, and I really, really love Hawaii. We were on the island of Kauai, and I don't know if I'll ever be able to go back there, but what a beautiful time. Neil says, if we reveal all of the letters of the word death, we die. Well, let's hope going left does not lead to another letter. Oh! This is the upgraded. Oh! Oh, wow. So you can have different adventurers on different journeys. Interesting. See, we've had an upgrade. So we've done a bookmark. Look at that. Yes, upgrade, people. No, don't delete. Okay, so we're going to go left. You follow the corridor until it turns sharply to the right. On turning the corner, you see a tall reptilian creature wearing armour and holding a curved sword. The lizard man appears to be guarding some sacks that are piled up against the wall. If you can, and you wish to use one stamina to cast a creature sleep spell, please type sleep into the chat. If you would rather fight the creature with your sword, please type fight. So it's either sleep or fight. Let me know in the chat, people. Dom says, never go back. I'll never go back to Hawaii. My ex-wife was from there. Oh, I hope that you're not in pain. There's nothing like the pain of a broken relationship. Very swish, very fancy. I used to be fancy back in the day. And I'm Salamander Man. Yes, Robbie. We just were talking about gilly lizards. Fight, fight, fight. Fight having just lost a bunch to the deadly H. Look into my... Why does nobody like magic? Do none of us play wizards in D&D? Look into my eyes. Sleep. Well, at the moment, that's 4 votes for fight and only 1 for sleep. We can fight. We know we always win these fights. Let's go. Okay. On seeing you, the lizard man hisses loudly and advances toward you with his sword held high. You must fight. And we will cheat, as we always do. Excellent. Oh. It's a 17 to their 6. And we win. It's a 20 to their 16, and we slash them. 1 more hit, and they should be goners. 20 to their 16. We are triumphant! Woohoo! Sorry, Sergey and Sean, too slow on the sleepiness. But luckily, we were triumphant. We tip open the sacks, but they contain merely spices and grain. A quick search through the lizard man's clothes produces a large iron key, which you slip into your shirt pocket. Ooh, that's good. I wonder if we would have done that if we made him fall asleep. I think we feel better about looting bodies, don't we? You move on and arrive at another T-junction. Ooh, so we have a look at the map. We're going to get to choose to go left or right here. So please type which way you'd rather go. We've had a couple of T-junctions, so we can go left or right here. Let me know in the chat. We never cheat, we just manipulate our fate, says Sean. As a lizard man collector, I do not support that aggression, says Sergey. Hello, Alex. Welcome to the chat. And Alex is never late. He turns up exactly when he intends to. And you're so welcome. Alex, I'm thinking of pruning my roses this weekend coming up. Neil, that feels like a glue. Provisions and left. There are 21 of us here today. Welcome to the channel, everybody. Clue. That feels like a clue. What feels like a clue? I'm so lost in the chat. Sean says left, Robbie says left, Neil says left, and nobody says right. So let's go left. The corridor soon comes to a dead end, although there is a ladder leading up through a hole in the ceiling. Do we feel like we wish to climb? Please type up into the chat if you'd like to go up. Or if you'd like to turn back, please type back into the chat. Up or back, I think. And yes, I was saying earlier, if you are new here or old here, please do a like on this stream. I really think it helps with the algorithm thingy. And yes, please drop a super thanks or memberships to people. If we do 10 super thanks, we'll do tarot readings for people. But it doesn't really matter if we don't reach the goals. I just think it's a fun thing to play with. I think memberships are probably more useful to the sustained longevity of this channel. Makes me feel more valid and means some people get given a membership and continue with it. Oh, I really don't like myself when I try and do that. Okie dokie. Up, 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 up. Alex says, get on the rose pruning soon. Maybe I'll try and do it tomorrow. Tony says, the only way is up. The only way is up. And Darthurus agrees, so let us climb. Oh, lordy, lordy. I feel like we see this guy or an iteration of him on many of our quests. Poking your head through the hole in the ceiling, you see a small cluttered room lit by a single candle resting on top of a table. Crouched in a corner of the room is a sinewy little man wearing ragged sackcloth. On seeing you, he snatches a wooden pole off the floor. We have 3 choices here. Interesting. Will we talk to him, attack him, or climb down the ladder? Just no. We will have none of this. We're just going to go down the ladder. So let's think wisely. There are 3 suggestions. One of them is run away before we even engage. If you'd like to talk, please type talk into the chat. If you want to attack, please type attack into the chat. And if you'd like to leave, please type leave into the chat. So it will be talk, attack, or leave. The decision is yours. Oh, this is cute. Already a lot of people are saying talk, talk. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 saying talk, 6. And Philip Collins would like to fight. Does Philip know something we don't? Let's find out. I'm going to do a bookmark. Oh, the gnome is grateful that you did not slay him. He tells you that he stumbled across Vatos many years ago and decided to stay. He's nothing but a scavenger these days, but he says he's quite happy. Vatos was deserted for many years, but gradually men and other creatures found it while seeking shelter, and a few of them stayed. There's no law in Vatos and nobody in control, although the most powerful usually get their way. Passing caravans are attacked for food, the raids being organised by a high priestess and her slaves. You ask him if he's heard of Malbordus, but he shakes his head, saying, I don't take much interest in people. I just spend my time collecting and scavenging. Perhaps you have something to trade. I would give a lot for one of those fancy things that you look through to make other things seem a lot closer than they really are. That's a good way of describing a telescope, isn't it? We do not have a telescope to trade. We have not seen one on our journey. So we'll have to turn to 3, 2, 1. You tell the gnome that you do not own a telescope. Disappointed by your reply, he rubs his chin and says, well, you see, I really like brass, so if you have anything made of brass, I'll gladly give you a magic armband that will give strength to your sword arm in battle. Do we want this? We do own a brass handbell, so if you'd like to trade, please type trade in the chat. Otherwise, please type down into the chat and I'll follow your instructions. I think I'm just keeping going because it's so sugary. Capri says, everybody's talking at me. Dartharus, we just murdered a lizard man because we saw some bags. I think we can stand to talk. Dom, if you attacked him, you'd be arrested for gnome invasion. Very good, Dom. Philip, why not just kill him and take the armband as an option? Tony, ding dong, trade. Oh dear. Trade, the game wouldn't trick us out of an important bell, right? Phil, fanting fighter C, let's go! Phil Urbanic. Okay. Let's try a trade, but let's definitely bookmark here because we all know what's going to happen. Okay. You reach into your backpack and give the handbell to the happy gnome. He then opens a tin box, takes out a purple silk purse and throws it to you. You open the purse and pull out a silver armband which is inset with a large emerald. You place it on your sword arm and say goodbye to the gnome. Let's see what it's called in the adventure sheet. Nothing yet. And do we get to keep the purple silk purse, which sounds lovely. You are now wearing an armband of strength. Hooray! You gain 1 skill point on top of your initial skill. Wowie zowie. That's all right. Look at us. 14 skill. We'll be unstoppable. Neil, you must be so pleased. Sadly, we don't keep the purple silk purse, but hey ho. You know, an adventurer's lot is not always to be surrounded by fripperies. No reason to kill him. Very good, Tony. Sean says, we can't kill him. He's a gnome, not an elf. God, they are so racist against elves in Australasia. Dartharus, I feel like if Neil is voting against the group, we should probably listen. I agree, but we rarely do listen. Okay, but we've got our skill. We've got our skill point. Let's walk on back. Oh, no. No, ratlings. Vampiric rattlings with swords. The corridor eventually opens into a dingy room in which 2 rat men are busily chewing on the carcass of a goblin. What a Sunday night I serve up to you. 2 rat men busily chewing on the carcass of a goblin. On seeing you, they spring to their feet and attack you with their swords. Time to fight. Oh, this should be easy. We've got skill of 50,000. Look at that. 20 to 8. God bless these rolling rocks. We've defeated first Ratman. Now we must face the second Ratman. 22 to 9. It doesn't seem fair. 21 to 14. See what you can do with 14 skill. You can just let the dice sit. You don't even need to cheat. Look at that. Crikey blimey. Well done us. We are triumphant. Woohoo! Balloons, balloons if they work. Bloody rat men. Oh, happy Haribo. I don't think a Haribo's got an accent in my head yet. Ah, Skavens. Skavens. Drat those bratty ratties. Does everybody remember Roland Rat? Have we spoken about Roland Rat? We win. In the pocket of one of the rat men, you find 3 gold pieces and a monkey's tail. In the far wall, you see 2 arches and corridors running from them. Again, it's going to be a left-right decisione, people. This is where we are. We're with the rat men. And we can go through a left arch or a right arch. These maps are very... I mean, I guess if we've gone left and left, we would kind of be going in a circle. But what way will we go? Goblin on that corpse, you could say. Oh, Tony. You remind me of a friend of mine, Tony, who was fantastic, just puntastic. Philip Collins says, right. Thank you, Philip. Very decisive. Very decisive. Right. Caprice says right as well. I'm not even going to ask why the rats own a monkey's tail or what they did with the rest of the monkey. Good thought. Happy Haribo. Don't ask. We don't need to know what happened to the monkey's tail. 100% agree. Tony says right as well. There are 24 people in the chat. Hello, welcome to my live chat, everybody. I'm not playing computer games. We're playing fighting fantasy. Please join us to take part in an exciting quest in the Tower of Terror, where we are about to, it looks like, turn and walk through the right-hand arch. Oh, as you approach the arch, you start to notice something out of place. If you are able to use 2 stamina to cast a detect trap spell, we do not have that spell. If you cannot cast this spell or choose not to, turn to 179. Will we die? Unknown to you, the door is an illusion. There is a pit in front of the wall where you believe the door to be, and you fall to the bottom of it some 10 meters below. To determine how much stamina you lose, roll 1 die. And this, my fine friends, is where my dice skills may come in handy. We want 3 or below. 1. We'll take that. We rolled a 1. Let us continue. Not really a triumph because we've still lost some much required stamina, but the least that we could have lost. You hit the bottom of the pit with a loud crash. If you are still able to get up, turn to 25. Well, we are still able to get up because we still have 16 stamina, but I think now would be a good time to eat. So I've just bumped our stamina up by 4 points and we have 6 provisions left. With much effort, you eventually haul yourself out of the pit. You go over to the other archway and walk under it. Okay, good to know. Let's just check the map. Okay. You soon arrive at a T-junction. Looking right, you see that the floor is covered with broken glass, and so you turn left into the new corridor. Philip says we've got plenty of provisions. I agree, Philip. This corridor ends at a T-junction. We can go left or right again. I'm so sorry for the boring choices, my friends, but this is where the map's taking us. So we are now here at this T-junction. Interesting stuff. Tell me in the chat, my friends, where will we go? Clearly it was hidden. The owner was trying to hide from us. Hidden well. That pit could have been a well if it had been filled with water. Let's face it, people. Robbie says left, please. Philip says left. And Dom says right. There's 25 people in the chat. Please, if you're new here, feel free to add a comment in the chat. I think you need to be with us for about 20 minutes if you want to comment, just because we've had scary baddies coming into the chat. David says to the left, to the left. Tony, left. I feel we're going in a circle. Happy Haribo, blindly saying left. And everybody else, apart from Dom, is saying left. Let us go left. You pass a doorway in the left-hand wall, which has an ornately carved surrounding of hideous creatures being consumed by flames. Seems like kind of a no door. What do we wish to do? If you wish to open the door, please type open into the chat. If you would like to carry on, please type walk. As in, walk away from the scary door. So you have open or walk. Let me know, and I shall finish my last morsels of very sugary apple pastry from the hospital. I'm going to try and do it in one. Oh, vanquished my food foe. Haribo, this is like reading Fulgrim. This bit is. Philip, too many T-junctions in this place. I agree. Robbie says open. Sergey says walk. Dom, Phil and Sean want to open. I'm just laughing because Tony said toilet for hideous fire creatures. We never get to use the loo in these books. Open, 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 open. Neil says, does anyone remember the scary door section from Futurama? One of my favourite bits of the series. I wonder if we could do a react to that. It looks like open is where everybody is. Dartharus, obvious this is where the boiler is. We must inspect it. It's true. Boilers do come under well inspectors. Although we don't have gas certificates, we can advise and refer you to a local boiler maintenance person. We're going to open the door, people. And I'm going to place a bookmark because we have been known to make terrible decisions. Oh, a slavering death dog. The door opens into a room which is empty apart from a large pile of bones lying in the corner. Scratch marks on the wall appear to have been made by claws. You hear growling from a low arch in the far wall. Suddenly the door behind you opens and 3 large meat-covered bones are thrown into the room. Before the door is slammed shut again, the growling becomes loud barking, and suddenly a huge, slavering death dog bounds into the room. It sees you and immediately attacks. You must fight. Not worried. Look at that. We're rolling nonsense, and we are fine. Like, there's nothing for me to do anymore. I rolled a 3, and we've won. I feel bad. I feel bad for all enemies. That is because we cheated on our stats at the beginning as well. We are triumphant, but I feel I cannot do the triumphant dance as we have rigged the system. We do win. You peer into the gloom of the death dog's lair and see that a dark tunnel stretches into the distance. Considering this is a tower, I'm not really feeling very many towery aspects to this adventure. And I wonder what you could put in, like, you know, amazing views or helter-skelters or portcullis. I don't know, turning it into a quiz show that no one wants to play in. If you wish to crawl down the tunnel, we should crawl down the tunnel. We are well inspectors. If you would rather leave the room, we can leave the room. So please type either down or leave into the chat. I'm going to bookmark here just in case, because although we love delving below the earth and into tunnels and sump pipes, etc., doesn't always end well for us. Oh, Sean says, oh no, if only we'd found a tennis ball to distract it. Will says, boiler equals tall hot well. Love it. There's a vintage design of a portable toilet called a Thunderbox. Fantastic. I was just reading about an old Warhammer airship called a Thunder something that was in one of the stories. You get to use the loo in South Park, the stick of truth. Happy says, poor little doggy. Neil says, it's a temple in a city, not a tower. Oh, that's why we're not up a tower. Stairs would be a start. A pic of the BT tower. Tony, it's a temple. Why did I think we were in a tower? Am I thinking of Disney? We're playing Disney's Tower of Terror. Down, down. Phil says, down, 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 deeper and down. I never know if it's going to be Status Quo or Bugsy Malone. Down, 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 down. Must be a big tower if anything extends into the distance. So gay. That tower feels like the one from Game of Thrones where the dragons were stolen. Happy Haribo says leave. David says tunnel, a bit of spelunking. Thunderhawk, that's the classic Space Marine dropship. Yes, in the current Heresy book I'm reading, there are a lot of in-jokes about Thunderhawks. Philip says the quo. So it looks like we're going down, my friends. We're going to crawl down the tunnel. The light quickly fades as you crawl along the tunnel until you cannot see your hand in front of your face. Well, hang on a gosh darn minute, because we've got a lantern with us in our equipment. We've got a blooming lantern. So this is cheating. So do we continue crawling in the dark? Maybe it's a trick. Maybe it will say you put your lantern on. Continue crawling or leave the room. So can we type either dark or leave for this option? I'm a bit cross if they don't let us use our lantern. Lovely tea. Tony says, fighting fantasy Disney princesses. Who's your favourite Disney princess? Mine is Moana, I think. I've been so... Well, let's not go Disney. Dark, dark, dark. Disappointed that the lantern's not playing. Maybe because you're crawling, you can't use a lantern. Maybe. But you could crawl and like pick it up and place it in front and then crawl, and I know that'd be a nightmare. Sean, I recently finished watching Star Trek, TNG Voyager Deep Space Nine, and they never showed a toilet. Disappointing. I wanted to see a futuristic toilet. I bet they show one in Enterprise. That's got Bacula. What about Discovery? You need to, this is incomplete. What about Lower Decks? Come on, Sean. Let's go into the dark. It looks like we want to go that way. Into the night. I should probably bookmark because we die quite a lot. If you would like to and are able to, oh no, use 2 stamina to cast a detect trap spell. We don't know this spell. Let's just go. Crawling blindly on, you do not see a tripwire, which you accidentally trigger with your arm. An unseen crossbow releases its bolt straight towards you. No! Test your luck. Ugh, that's fine. You are lucky. You needed a luck score of 9 or lower and rolled a luck score of 6. Excellent. Ah, hooray. You know what? I feel like we need a soundboard here for when we do a good thing. I'll see if I can find one really quickly because we've just got up to 26 viewers and it's not good for me to be shouting around for a noise when new people on the channel going, what's this all about? Welcome, new viewers. Will this work? That's a bit Star Trek. That'll do. Well done, us. We were lucky. Let's see how much stamina we lose being lucky. Only 3. The crossbow bolt thuds into your shoulder, poof, making you cry out in pain. Whoa! You lose 3 stamina points. Can I just say, that is one of the most horrifying things. Death by crossbow, being hit with a crossbow. No, thank you, children. Sean says the 3 seashells from Demolition Man. A pity we never got to find out what they were for. What? Princess Mononoke is the best princess, says Robbie. Tony says they have transporters, so no toilets. Sorry. In Discovery, one of the admirals is eating an apple and says, this apple is made from our shit, or something like this. It was very, very shocking and revolutionary. And I think he was implying that the transporter or some kind of Federation energy is made from just making food out of poo. Julie Cruz Twin Peaks, yes. Snaps Aztec for niche song reference. FFW11 Victory Fanfare. Haribo. Haribo's one-upping Dooley. I want to see an alien toilet, don't we all? You don't know how to use the shells, Neil. Oh yeah, the shells were toilets. Were the shells toilets in Demolition Man? Very sorry for anybody new to the chat. Let's just see. I've never played Fighting Fantasy, I have to say. It's bad, isn't it? Cloud hums the victory fanfare.
For your magnificent performance tonight, I present to you this sparkling trophy. Congratulations.
Okay, well done, Cloud. Replicators, I suppose, recycle stuff? I think so. Die to crossbow, it's a doddle. Crossbows are dishonourable weapons. Crossbowmen used to wear masks so they could hide their shame for the sake of their families. I did not know that. That's the kind of thing that I learn on the daily working with the Trench Crusade crew. And there was much rejoicing. Fighting Fantasy 7 was the best game ever. Definitely worth playing. I don't want to play games where you have to fight. Sorry, I've said it. You grit your teeth and pull the bolt out of your shoulder. You crawl and crawl painfully on down the tunnel, which finally opens out into a dusty room lit by torches set in the wall. Well, let's have some more provisions, because we are suffering. Okay, that brings us back up to 21 out of 23 stamina. We have 5 sets of provisions left. Let's continue. As you make your way across the dusty floor to the door in the wall opposite, your mind suddenly fills with horrific images. This is a very punishing part of the dungeon, I have to say. I mean, actually, it's not that bad. We've had one talking encounter. Your flesh appears to be burning, and death seems imminent. Let's get calm so I can read correctly. Your nightmare drags on for 5 minutes before the strain makes you lose consciousness. We're screaming in terror because we think we saw the whole room being engulfed in flames. You come to about an hour later, and when you try to stand up, you realise you've lost some of your nerve and courage. Your hands tremble and you feel completely shaken. You lose 3 skill points. The game giveth and it taketh away. So we're down to skill 11. Oh, I'm very affected by that. You stagger towards the iron door in the far wall to leave the room of fear. This is just like my daily life. Like every day I'm just having a lovely day and then something triggers me. I'm like, worrying about this thing. And then I'm shaking all day. This is not why we play games. We play games to escape the fear. The door opens into a corridor. Looking left, you see nothing of interest. But to your right, you see glowing lights dancing about in the gloom of the corridor. Curious to find out why the lights are moving, you walk towards them. Ooh. As you move closer to the glowing lights, you realise they are starting to move towards you. 3 giant bugs with wings buzz loudly and close in to attack. You must fight the giant fireflies one at a time. Each time a firefly wins an attack round, the firefly will discharge electricity and you will lose an additional 1 stamina point. Well, that just means we can't let them hit us. 4 stamina, come on. We can do this. We've still got quite a high skill. If 1 is down. Amazing. Oh, I don't want them to have a doubled 6. Okay. Fantastic. 2 is down. Let's take on the number 3. I hear this music in my dreams. I'm so glad I learned how to cheat this. I would hate if we had to properly fight every time. You are triumphant! And we win. Oh, Throm. Is it Throm? No. You carry on down the corridor, which finally leads into a large chamber lit by torches mounted on high walls. At the top, the walls slope inwards to form a magnificent golden ceiling. A massive bronze idol stands in the middle of the chamber with its warhammer raised. Oh, sugar. You will have to walk past the idol. Of course we will. In order to reach the entrance of a tunnel in the far wall. So everybody in the chat, there are 27 of us. Hooray! That's a big amount. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Please, please, please do a like and a sub if you're new. And you can also do a super goal, or you can buy yourself a Mirror Manga YouTube membership. Please jump on in. Oh, did we get one? Oh, our goal ends in 4 minutes. That's okay. We didn't think we were ever going to achieve the goal, but we've been playing with the goal. Okay. So people need to let me know if we're going left or right while you're voting in the chat or liking this video or being fantastic. I will read out the chat. Robbie, Final Fantasy VII was the best game ever. Definitely worth playing. Will, headcanon, the shells were buttons for a B-Day. I like that, Will. Caprice has been playing lots of FF7 Rebirth this week. Philip says that's harsh. Happy Haribo, we need a cup of tea to restore 3 points of nerves. We have the magical cup of Sports Direct. It's like a bag of holding, but for tea. Caprice says 3 SP, ouch. David Gibb, I mean, it's the Tower of Terror. It's not, David, I found out it's a temple. Tony says DISCO. Haribo says we need insect repellent. Philip says Sigmar. Caprice says it's Harry the Hammer. Haribo says Fulgrim again. Tony, Philip and Caprice say left. Phil says now ring your bell and cast detect traps. Hello. Rebirth is where the video you played on your phone is from. Very cool. I saw this cosplayer who was Cloud and he looked so pretty and I was like, oh my gosh, like the guy looked so much like a cartoon. And then I saw him doing like a really like lechy video and I was like, oh. Anyway, that's apropos of nothing. We've decided to walk left of the massive bronze idol holding a massive hammer that could probably smash the crap out of us. So let's see how this goes. Let's go left of the idol. As you walk through the shadow cast by the huge idol, it suddenly starts to move. Was that the clue? Was that the clue? So I guess if you're reading the book, the shadow's on the left. Okay, that was a visual clue. But we all like going left. So we went left and we will take the consequences of our decision. We must fight. If you manage to defeat, we can turn on. If we're crushed by its mighty warhammer, we will die. So let's fight. Ooh, double 6. 23 to 16. Go on. I don't even know if I need to do this. 18 to 12. This stone goblin's got a lot of stamina. 18 to 13. But low skill, which is good. It's all about the skill rolls in these books. Hooray! We are triumphant! He's rock hard, says Philip. Lol. Woohoo, mini quest achieved. Tempt Mira with 4 song titles. If I know 'em, I'll sing 'em, Holton. Too bad it wasn't a stone Smeagol. Yes, my precious. Okie dokie. The golem crashes to the floor, breaking into many pieces. Stepping over the pieces of stone, you make your way over to the tunnel entrance. Actually, Alex Sinclair, if you're still in the chat, my roses are still incredibly leafy and they had flowers on them up to like, I think a week and a half. One of them might even still have a bud on it. I'm still going to prune, am I? Okay, thanks. Back to the adventure. You step into the tunnel and notice that the floor starts to slope downwards. It finally leads down to the edge of a flooded room. Water flows into the room through the mouth of a lion's head set in the wall. There is a ledge on the far wall which rises above the water, and the tunnel continues beyond it. You shrug your shoulders and wade into the murky water. So what we're seeing here, lads, is your common or garden type lion's head fountain gushing into whatever lies beneath. Clearly has not been cleaned for a while because we find ourselves waist deep in the flooded room when a long tentacle breaks the surface. The water is stirred up as the monster thrashes around, sensing that food is nearby. Suddenly another tentacle wraps itself around your leg and tries to drag you underwater. You draw your sword and begin hacking blindly at your attacker. We are not wearing a bracelet of mermaid scales, and of all the flipping items that you can get, I deserve a bracelet of mermaid scales. Actually, sounds a bit cruel. Probably happy not to have it, but we're not wearing this item, so we have to turn to page 13. Unlucky for some. Darthrus says, now definitely in our remit. Agreed. Tony says, Uncle Tentacle. I don't get that, Tony. Dom says, oh dear. No, Dom, we try so hard to keep this PG-13, as we've said often. Alex says, they've barely stopped this year. Strip the leaves and flowers and prune as normal and you'll be fine. We will definitely do the pruning. Thank you so much for that, Alex. And I'm also buying a new rose because my Rachel has done nothing, just did nothing. Poor little creature. Another tentacle wraps itself around your other leg, and you gasp for air as you thrash around in the water, trying to stab your unseen adversary. You will drown if you do not slay the water monster in 8 attacks. We can do that. Easy peasy. Look at us, slaying the water monster. This is the first thing they teach us at Well Inspector Academy. It's not the first thing. It's like year 3. Is it year 3? They probably teach you quite early. It's part of your on-site training. Mr. Cthulhu. Oh yeah, what rose are you going to get instead? Alex, if you can hang around a little bit at the end of the game, I will let you know. I'll have to look it up, but it's a really beautiful red one that I saw in Paris. We are triumphant! Woohoo! Ethically sourced free-range bracelet of mermaid scales. Ethically sourced shredded free-range bracelet from point of origin mermaid scales. Excellent. We've won against the tentacle monster. Betentacled monstrosities are like the 4th module. Yes, they are. The water is now deep red with blood. Just as you are climbing out on the ledge, the water turns suddenly black and an acrid vapour rises from the surface. Oh, well, professionally, we would like to see that. If you wish to stay by the edge of the water, please type water. If you would rather go into the tunnel, please type down. So water or down. Probably there'll be an ill effect of this water, but we are well inspectors. Professionally, this is interesting to us. If we're role playing this, let me know what we'd like to do in the chat. Thank you very much to Robbie and Neil for contributing 2 super thanks to the chat today. Bookmark then water. Yes, we all know the bookmarks coming in. Tentacle Wrestling Year 1, 2nd term, Wednesday afternoons. Yeah. Yeah, and it's like a tentacle dummy. It's not an actual. They have like a really horrible ratty old tentacle, like cloth tentacles in the old gym. By the apparatus, tied to the apparatus. Sean, water, we should gather a sample. David says down, too much like the acid room in Skeleton Crew. I did think it was good they did a Star Wars for the little ones. Well, I think we will inspect the water, and this can also be our cliffhanger of the evening. So we'll finish up on this final move. The acrid vapour becomes stronger until you feel quite sick. The room begins to spin before your eyes and you cannot stop yourself from blacking out. Jesus! Teetering on the edge of the pool, you fall over. Test your luck. Low, low. Oh, sugar, I gave us high. Your luck has run out. Oh, well, it said. Oh, well. You fall into the water with a resounding splash. You are not even conscious of your flesh turning soft and falling away from your bones. Thank God, the water is now like concentrated acid because of its reaction with the blood of the tentacle thing. Will, we need to write this in our science notes. Your adventure is over. You fought hard to get as far as you have, but your strength has failed you in the end. Malborders has no one left to stop him as his reign of terror is just about to begin. Alancia has just lost its last protector. Your adventure is at its end. Oh, Treyguard. No. Well, look at us. Look at us. A valiant effort. A valiant effort from all of us. Well done, all of us. During that stream, we had 82 views and the most we had watching together was 21 viewers, which is not bad. And most people hung around with us for about 15 minutes. So I'm just going to look up the name of the rose for my friend Sean. Bare roots. Okay, yes. Oh my gosh, and I forgot to message. There's a guy called Peter from Eastcroft Roses, and I bet I'm too bloody late, but this is the rose that I am seeking. And the reason I'm seeking it out is because I was in Paris. Why was I in Paris? Why was I in Paris? I went to Disney to see my friend's child perform in a Disney performance, and I met the Mandalorian, and we had some time in Paris, my friend Banky and I. And there's this tiny garden, it literally, you know, like a circular kind of patio with 4 arches and different roses on each of the arches. And I smelt this gorgeous Parfum de Provence, and it smells amazing. One of a family of excellent garden roses from Provence, series bred in France by one of Europe's leading rose breeders. The rose is packed with excellent fragrance, and I can attest to that. I smelt it on a really, really hot, dry summer day in Paris. It was late afternoon, and it was just so strong. It's beautiful. The deep red flowers last very well in a vase, which is interesting. I never seem to have roses with stems strong enough to stand up in a vase. They're fully petaled and impressively large. Fully petaled means they're like this. You can get different types of petals. So I'm excited about that. The plant is upright and strong, with young foliage changing from deep purple to deep green with maturity. Beautiful fragrance and presence. I think I'm going to buy the potted. I'm going to add that to my basket while we're all together. £18.75. See, if I can buy that rose and make it live for like 3 or 4 years, that £20 is a real investment. So thanks for coming to Rose Watch. And yes, that is my big passion, which sadly this winter, because of my anxiety, I haven't really been. You don't really need to do a lot to roses in winter. You just let them winter. Yes, I do love. I haven't got a red rose at the moment. I've got. What have I got? I've got a Gertrude Jekyll, which is pink. I've got a Lady of Shalott, which is kind of orangey. I've got the Poet's Wife, which is yellow. And I've got Fragrant Delight, which is another pink. So I'm excited to have a really red. Oh, Jen, happy to see you at the end. Sorry to see you go. I can pull 3 tarot cards for anybody who'd like one at the end. We didn't make our goal, but I have my tarot cards out here now. So if you'd like me to pull one, please type tarot into the chat. Oh, welcome, Will. Happy to see you. If you're new here, please do a like and subscribe. It really helps my self-esteem and validation issues and my ego. All the things. Will says tarot. Tarot, Will. Will, would you like to choose from the Light Seers Tarot or the Last Unicorn Tarot? Your choice. I'm just going to make sure that I have the right. Tony would like a tarot too, and so would Darthrus. Night, Robbie. Have a lovely week yourself, Robbie. Lovely to see you. And Will says unicorn. So I just need to look up my unicorn deck. Because there's a whole PDF, believe it or not, that I need to refer to. Unicorn. Last unicorn. Amazing. Oh, that's interesting. The PDF's not coming up immediately, but I know I have it, so I have it somewhere. Bear with me, everybody. Everyone else, feel free to leave in your own time. Marie. I last sent it to my friend Maria, so it will be on my phone. Clever girl, she said to herself. Let's see if she finds it. Maria. Maria's my real life tarot friend. We just go nuts for tarot. Docs. Aha! I have it. So, this one is for Will, who has had a bad week. So please, Golden Emperor, let us find him a happy card. And let's see how we can do this. Let me get back to my screen so I can see everybody. So Will, I'm going to shuffle and you're going to say stop. And when you say stop, I'm going to cut the deck and I'm going to choose the one that's facing on the top. Bye, Neil. Lovely to see you. So nice to see you. Oh, no. All the cards. Come back here. Gather my deck. Someone's got a Geiger deck. Will is wearing an Amalthea shirt. I need to see that. Isn't the Emperor's Tarot a sort of psychic device? Everyone's happy with the rose choice. Night will have a lovely week. Love and hugs to Robbie and Jasper. Dom has PTSD from pruning and tying in arches. Alex has got a beautiful climber. Oh, Will said stop. I shall stop. Oh. Will, my friend, you received the Page of Wands. Shall we see what it says? How exciting. Let's send this. The Page of Wands. Will, I must ask, do you believe in tarot? Like, how seriously do you take it? Do you have any strong feelings? Where are we on the, how are we doing on this? Just checking in. Because you have to know how it's going to be received. And I don't want to make a scary week not good. For those of you who haven't read the book, this is Schmendrick the Wizard, who is very earnest. Okay. We're going to open this up. And then I can share, hopefully I can share this with you so you can all see it. Yay! This is what I do for hours on my own. Okay, run text. Oh gosh. So while we're waiting, I could just scroll through, couldn't I? Maybe this is why I'm so ineffective in life. Who else wanted a tarot as well? Dartharus and Tony Holton. And Dom wants one. Dom will do you next week. Jen, I think it's canon that Araman is some super obscure tarot deck that I think is actually a real item or mystery anyway. The Visconti Sforza tarot deck is what he carries. Also the Voynich manuscript. Will does not have strong feelings. Good. Sean, tarot forecast. Will finds a wand and becomes a real wizard. Amazing. Okay. Fantastic. Okay, we'll scoot through. We'll find it. So the tarot is split into 4 decks, just as a normal decks. And it's normally like, I think, cups, swords, wands, and another one. And we are looking for the Page of Wands, which will be Will's tarot. Schmendrick holds a book of magic in one hand and a luminous wand in the other. His index finger is raised in a gesture of confidence and ambition, expression earnest. Didn't I say he was earnest? He is earnest. Are you earnest, Will? The open book sparkles with promises of knowledge and power, and in diligence towards his studies he has marked multiple pages for reference. The salamander present on his tome's cover and the fiery hues in the forest behind him hint at an upcoming transformation, Will. A reptile must shed its skin to grow, and so too can new life be found in the ashes of the old. Although he is considered just a Schmendrick or an ineffectual fool, he never wavers in his desire to improve and learn. Well, I would say that's very accurate for what I know of Will. So I'm very happy with that reading for Will. So yay! Okay. Dartharus, we can do a reading for you. It's very nice, Will. I'll see if I can't send you that. Dartharus, would you like a Last Unicorn reading or would you like a Light Seer reading? They're both lovely decks, actually. Very lucky. Schmendrick looks very serious. He does have the weight of the Lady Amalthea on his hands. Also, forecast, Will starts the Salamander's army. Okay, so Dartharus may be AFK. So who else said? Tony Holton. Okay, so Dartharus is saying Lightseer. Tony Holton, please be considering which deck you would like, the Last Unicorn or the Lightseer Tarot. The Lightseer is so beautiful. Okay, Dartharus, I'm shuffling the deck. So you have to say stop. And then when you do, I will cut the deck where it says stop and I'll look at the one that's face up. We still have 23 people watching. Thank you so much for holding on in there. If you're new, please do a like and subscribe. And also consider a super thanks. Dartharus says stop. I'm cutting the deck. And Dartharus, we've got the Four of Swords. Swords, sometimes good, sometimes bad. Swords are quite a forceful deck. So let's do this. The Lightseer is such a big deck. You can actually look them up. You just type in the tarot and then the name of the card. And it pops up. I love how they present them. It's going to look really shiny here so you can all see. So here's your mantra. I give myself permission to slow down and heal. Four of Swords, key meanings. So when I pulled the Four of Swords, unfortunately it was upside down. That's okay. Reverse just means it impacts a different way. Obviously, this is fun. We don't believe it. Danger of burnout, stagnation, and need to dedicate your energy to self-care. So you must do that, Dartharus. Not stopping long enough to recover and long-term effects of stress, which to me just sounds like daily living. But you have your mantra, which is, I give myself permission to slow down and to heal. And the overview, she pushed so hard, so far for so long, and when she couldn't go any further, she fell into a deep healing rest. During this time, the world will shift and change around her. Her trust will heal and her body will recover. She will alleviate her suffering from old trauma, and she will release old wounds that she carried with her for so many moons. Her magical love will find its footing again, and it will root down peacefully during these moments of stillness. Her power and her life force will slowly mend, and her love will begin to stitch together the fragmented parts of her heart and spirit. She finally has the energy for this healing. In her resting state, her anxious mind begins to relax, and her heart begins to pulse calmly, strongly, truthfully, every beat weaving a tale that comes from deep within her soul. It pulses to her unique timing, it moves to her unique purpose. After a painful Three of Swords, the vitality of her spirit pulses again, and in the stillness, she heals. So there you go. And finally, who is the last tarot that we offered to do? There are still 19 people with us. Thank you so much, my lovelies. That's so kind of you. Tony Holton, are you still in the chat? If so, reveal yourself. Lightseer, says Tony. Okay, also, yes, Will, you just need to change she for he. And they're saying she because it's a she pictured on that card. So, Tony, you take everything with such a spirit of humour. You're such a funny fella. Yeah, let's say stop when you wish to stop. And we will split the deck and then save it for you. Oh, Jen, I love that you know that tarot fact. Yes, the card artwork's lovely, says Haribo. Tony says stop. Okay. What do we have? The Page of Swords, which is interesting. So the image has got a girl with two birds and she's reading a book and she's holding onto some light bulbs. That seems appropriate, an appropriate image for Tony Holton. Let's have a look. Two swords this evening. Feels like a swordy time of the year. Does that mean anything? I don't know. I just said it. Page of Swords. So your mantra is, I expand my consciousness and I open up new opportunities, Tony. You hear me? That's your tarot. So we got this upright, restless energy, a thirst for information, learning new things, an apprentice or student, intellectual pursuits, ideas and reasoning, old ideals destroyed, an honest student being tested or judged, as in a student exam, a time to let go of worry, and a messenger. Page of Swords overview. Skip, skip, study. Skip, skip, study. Study, study, think, think. Skip, skip, study. This page is immersed in her world of learning, and she's stretching her world through the expansion of her mind. Using her insatiable curiosity and her intellect, she makes sense of the world by studying the path of those who have gone before her. She holds her ideas proudly, carting around all of her big aha light bulb moments and strongly identifying with her own mind. When her unsettled mental energy peaks, she can hear those little birdies tweeting. They ask a million questions. Most of the time, she welcomes this birdsong as a way to set goals and dreams for herself. Although sometimes, on days like today, those little birdies are trying to distract her. Sometimes they bring incredible probabilities, while other days they bring nothing but rumours. Today they are filling her mind with chatter, and so she keeps her head in a book. That's a good survival technique, so that she doesn't fall prey to their twisted truths. Well, how's about that, says Mira to Tony. I hope you're happy. So yeah, I hope everybody's enjoyed their tarot readings. It's getting a bit late, but there was somebody who wanted a reading that we could quickly do now if they're still here. Who was it? Dom Elf Kicker, are you still here? I feel like it's a seance. Is there anybody there? Dom, are you still with us? Okay, let's cut our losses. I mean, the little birdies in the head. What an endemic. Present. Okay, what tarot deck would you like, Dom Elf Kicker? You can choose the Light Seer or the Last Unicorn. And then we'll wrap this up. There are 17 faithful remaining. God bless you all. We're going on later than we normally do. I'm feeling sleepy. I think Dom might have a wee delay on his end. Which deck would you like, Dominus? Unicorn for the win. Okay, Dom, I'm beginning to shuffle the unicorn deck. When it feels correct to you, please say stop. And I will half the deck and we'll choose the card which is face up. Oof, lost a card. $18 people watching. Someone came back. The dying moments of the stream. Stop, says Dom. Aha, Dom Elf Kicker. It's Schmendrick again. And this time, Schmendrick is the Fool. The Fool is one of the major arcana cards in the deck. Outside of the actual decks, let's go back. Let's go back to the PDF. Okay, up the top. You can see all the major ones. Strength, the Hermit, the Chariot, the Lovers, the Hierophant, Emperor, Empress, Magician, the Fool. Okay. With his eyes to the sky and the world at his feet, Schmendrick's dreamy focus is what's on before him, to a certain extent, while simultaneously unaware of the specific details of his surroundings and where they will lead. Haggard's castle in the distance lies shrouded in mists, a thing left behind or to come into play far in the future. Amidst a sunburst sky, the lock and key represent both the challenges and solutions to be found along the way and in the time of need. Preparing to fall into something new, the Fool signifies new beginnings and adventures, though not without a little risk. There is freedom in new undertakings, in journeying from your past to your new future. Let your heart be your guide when making decisions that will affect where you wind up. You're leaving behind the familiar and standing on the precipice of the unknown, but such is the allure of new adventures. Well, we do that here every Sunday night, folks, don't we? We have our new adventures. And next Sunday, we will hopefully all be together surviving that tentacle beast, because we will cheat our way out of death, as we always do. Thank you all so much for stopping by. It's really helped to lift up my super scary Sundays, as usual. Always struggling, but great to be in the company of everybody. Just one final reminder, I try so hard to keep this channel PG-13. I have nieces, I have godsons who sometimes pop on to watch. So try super hard to try and keep this PG-13. You'll catch me slipping up sometimes, and I unfortunately do a swear, but I would really, really love it if everybody could try and be PG-13 too. Super important to me. Thank you so much, everybody. Lovely to see you. Good night. Good day, Sean. Have a great day. Goodbye, Caprice. Goodbye, Tony. Bye, Phil. We don't cheat, Jen. You're right. We don't cheat. We read the book creatively. Good night, Dom. Yeah, I'm glad you liked the reading. Thank you, Dom. Yeah, no more. Appreciate it. Good night, my loves. I hope you have a really lovely week. And don't forget, no matter how hard it gets, you have friends, you have people around, and we can wake up and the next day might be a little bit easier. So, yay! Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Happy. Have a lovely night, everybody, and see you next week. Bye. Oh, a huge thank you to Alex. Sorry, a huge thank you to Robbie and Neil for your donations. Super, super appreciated. Thank you so much. Yay, I'm a real YouTuber. Good night, friends. Love you. Have a great week, Alex. I'll send you pictures of the pruning.